How's everyone doing today? Good to see y'all. Got a good crowd. Everybody got a smile on their face.
Yeah, that's early.
God bless you. It's early yet, isn't it? Hopefully we have one when we finish this meeting today. We've got a lot of good business that we're going to take place here for Jefferson County. We've got exciting things going on, and we look forward to working on behalf of citizens of Jefferson County. I'd like to begin this, as we do all our meetings, with a word of prayer. Bow your heads, please. Our most gracious Heavenly Father, we thank Thee for all these assembled here to do the business of Jefferson County. Dear Lord, we're ever thankful and grateful for those in your service and the ones who work on your behalf to the betterment of our citizens. Dear Lord, thank you for the good health that you've given us. Dear Lord, thank you for the weather that we've had and how the storms have bypassed. We pray continue that the storms will continue to go elsewhere and to not exist at all. Dear Lord, we ask that you keep us, guide us, and protect us, and to do the things in thy name which do for the glory of God. As you say in Jesus' name. Amen. Thank you. I will begin. We've got Dr. Walter Gosselin here. I'd like to begin with that. He's a busy man. We want to make sure that we take care of him. Then we're going to do a presentation by Commissioner Hamlin. We'll probably go backwards. Dr. Gosselin.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
Sure. Yeah, where's no road? Look, we got this guy's fixed up.
All right, very good. Good morning, everyone.
Good morning, sir.
I want to first thank the commissioners for allowing me to come and speak on behalf of Jefferson County Schools. It is very important that we share with you guys what we're doing in the school system so that you can see how it is connected to what is going on in Jefferson County. And in particular, today my presentation will be on how we are connecting our career tech programs to the job market and to the workforce that's here in Jefferson County Schools. So I just have some information that I want to share with you guys. First of all, I'd like to say Jefferson County Schools, we are Jefferson County's workforce. And my presentation will show you exactly what I mean by that. For the next 4 years, we have 13 high schools. And in those 13 high schools, when I look at the cohorts of children and the numbers, for example, this particular cohort of seniors, we will be graduating 2,200 seniors. It's a lot of people. And in our 9th grade cohort, we have 2,900 students. And so the answer is, what type of education are we providing for these children, and how does that impact what's going on in Jefferson County? The Alabama State Department of Education, they're placing a huge emphasis on college and career readiness, and they call it CCR. There's been an expansion in Jefferson County schools for career tech programs over the last decade, and in 2022, we launched something called Signature Academies. And I just want to kind of tell y'all what a Signature Academy is for our children. Signature Academy's innovative and unique approach to education. We have high interest, high wage programs that allow children to get credentials with the minimum requirements and allow them to enter into the workforce. Because remember what I said, we have 2,200 children that are graduating this semester. Of those 2,200, research shows us that about 30% go straight to college, right? So then we have to ask ourselves, well, what happens to the other 70%? And we have to be ready. We have to be prepared. And so therefore, we want to make sure that our children are able to enter into the workforce with the minimum requirements, have those credentials ready. Students can still attend, even though we have these Signature Academies, they can still attend our career tech programs at their home school. But this gives them the opportunity to apply for a Signature Academy CTE program in their zone. And successful completion allows students to enter into the workforce immediately or continue with their post-secondary education. What we've done is we've set our 13 schools into 4 zones: the northern, the western, the eastern zone, and the southern zone. at each one of those, and in each one of those programs, we have advanced manufacturing courses, biomedical, culinary, hospitality services, and we've matched, what we've done is, we've matched what's going on in our schools with the needs of our business community. So we're working with the Birmingham Business Association and the Jefferson County Economic Development Group, and we sat down with them and we asked them, what are all of the vacancies, the job vacancies, or job opportunities that's in this area? And so they share that information with us, and we mirror that with what we're offering in the schools. So therefore, when our children are graduating, they're ready, and they can enter into the workforce if they so choose, or they can go to post-secondary. I'm giving you an example here. This is our Southern Zone, and we have, in the Southern Zone, we have McAdory, we have Oak Grove High School, Minor High School, and Pleasant Grove High School. Man, I'm doing well to see that far. I'm doing good. But, so what has happened in the past, what we've seen is that a child could be in a building, let's say at McAdory, right? They could be in a building and they've been confined to only the programs that's within the walls of that building, whatever we're offering. But what we've done now is we've expanded those opportunities. So we've placed them in zones with other high schools. And so therefore, for example, at McAdory High School, they not only have those programs that are available to them in their schools, but they now have programs that are 7 other CTE programs that they wouldn't have had, because we coupled them with Oak Grove and Pleasant Grove and Hueytown High School. And so at first period, every morning, and we have 3,000 students across the district that are participating in this program. But those children who have signed up and who they have been accepted to those programs, at first period, they catch a bus from their home school, and then we drive them to their host school, and they go to that particular program. So, for example, at McAdory, we got biomedical and advanced manufacturing. Those, we have students that say, that's good, but I'm not just interested in those programs. I want to be in the leadership program at Pleasant Grove. We put them on a bus, we drive them there, they attend that program, and then once they're finished, we put them on a bus and we bring them back. And we found no discipline problems. We found children engaged. The children they're not concerned about the ethnicity of their peers, the gender of their peers. What they're interested in the fact that we have high interest. This is what I'm interested in. And we've gotten with them, we educate every 8th grade group. We go with our videos and we share with them all of the programs. And then we survey them. What would you might be interested in that we don't offer? And so then we look for ways to incorporate that. Y'all, when you have children who are interested in the program, they'll be there. They'll be there. And it keeps them engaged. It keeps them. I got children in Oak Grove. You know, at first people say, this can't work in Oak Grove. It's too far from everything else, right? And but you know, you'd be amazed how many children in Oak Grove are interested in the leadership program, and they want to be in JROTC. They want to go to the military. And I never forget this one young man 2 years ago who was in the program, and I asked him. I said, son, you know, what do you feel about traveling to Pleasant Grove and being a part of their program? And he said, sir, he said, my goal is to make it to West Point. And he said, if these people can offer me the opportunity to go to West Point, and they're providing transportation for me, he said, I'm getting on the bus and I'm going. And those are the type of opportunities that we want to try. We want to provide for children. Now, I know that we're tracking the workforce, and we're talking about workforce for this, but it has even spilled over into our academics in terms of our scholarships and the number of scholarships that our children earn. 3 years ago, our children earned $71 million worth of scholarships. And everybody was excited. Was it 70 or 71? About that, 71. And everybody was excited. But then I asked the question, is that good? Can we do better? What was the measure? And so we put measures in place to begin to talk to our children, advise them, and set goals. Well, the very next year, that next cohort went from 71 million to 100 million. 100 million. And then the third group, the third year, they went to $103 million. Our rising ninth graders, who are in eighth graders right now, they've set a goal for $1 billion. I don't know if they're going to reach that. Hey, let them try, right? Let them try. Let them go for it. But you know, as we work together, the goal that I want everybody to understand is that Jeffco's success is Jefferson County's success. Bottom line, increased educational opportunities. We increase student achievement because they're involved in things that they want to be involved, that they're interested in, which means increase in student postgraduate opportunities. It increases the Jefferson County workforce, and then it increases Jefferson County's economy. Because many of our children, they stay within a 50-mile radius of the greater Birmingham area. And in some places, you know, I'm from Louisiana. If you only stay 50-mile radius from where I'm from, you're going to be working on a port somewhere, right? And we're offshore. Not too many opportunities. But in the greater Birmingham area, that's not the case. But we have to take advantage of those things. And so that's why we're matching the two. So, the class of 2022, last year, because we don't have it for this year because we're still tracking. Of those over 2,000 graduates, they earned 3,067 credentials. 3,000. And that's the minimum requirements to get into particular job fields, right? And you can see the numbers there. Over 1,000 in business credentials. Over 700 in marketing, hospitality, 341. Human services, 161 credentials. And on and on and on. 17 in GROTC with the U.S. Marines. 109 in the health science. Central 6 has they have clusters. And so they meet in particular clusters with the workforce. And a couple of years, this year we found with the patient care technicians, they had vacancies of, I think, 60 vacancies with those positions. Well, we have a system that tracks and shows that we have 85 children that already meet those credentials while they're still in high school. And so that's why we're marrying the two, because we're telling them, look at us first. Come interview our children. Let me give you a real-world application to that. So this is the list of the top 25 highest demand jobs not requiring a bachelor's in Region 4. And Region 4 consists of Jefferson County, Walker, Blount, St. Clair, Shelby, and Chilton. So in the field of hospitality, and in particular with food service managers, in those areas there are 1,300 job opportunities. This past year, Jefferson County graduated 341 students with some type of hospitality and tourism credential. The majority of the credentials earned came from our culinary arts programs. So again, we know that there's a need within our region. We're fulfilling it with our students, and we are increasing the number of children that get these credentials. But our ultimate goal is to marry those opportunities with the vacancies that are there. Next slide, I'll give you a couple more examples. We have, I think we might have gone just a little bit too health and IT. So, again, in the health field, the occupational medical secretaries, there are 887. In IT, computer user support specialists, 617. Jefferson County has partnered with Lawson State for students to earn an associate's degree while still in high school in both of these occupations. Students can leave high school and walk into a job in both of these fields. So in one of our zones, we have something called the ACE program. And those schools participating in that right now is Mortimer Jordan High School, Centerpoint High School, and Pinson High School. And those children sign up if they're interested, and they go to, we partner with Lawson State, and those children actually, their books are paid for, their tuition is paid for, And when they finish that program, they walk out of high school with an associate's degree and a high school diploma. And they're eligible for any one of these jobs. Next, in the IT world, software developers. There are 1,385. A computer systems analyst job, 552. And again, Jefferson County is growing as a technology hub in the Southeast. Innovation Depot in the Southeast, largest high-tech incubator. Jefferson County schools graduated 80 students with an IT credential, many of which have the skills needed to work towards a job in both of these professions. So this is what we do. We offer the programs, but we track it. We track it on what they're earning, but we also track it as to what's out there in the field. And we do the same thing, and I'm not going to go through this slide, but y'all get the concept. Y'all get the idea of what we're doing. This is a software that I want to share with you. It's called Naviance. And so we have a pilot group with this particular software, and that's the software that marries what we're earning and the vacancies out there. And as you can see, this is a hypothetical high school or school district. And I'll basically explain to you what's going on. The business world, they will be able to go into our software, and they will be able to see how many children we have credentialed in certain areas. And then, so for example, when I was telling you about the patient care technician group, we're moving toward this to where their human resource department or whatever, they can go in and say, you know, I have 5 vacancies here at Children's Hospital for patient care. In Jefferson County Schools, they have 85 children who are certified. So they can be able to send emails to our advisors at the schools so that they can set up interviews between the children, advisors, and the company. And we're going to do that with each one of our areas. We have the same thing with our scholarships as well, on the scholarship side. I have parents that are saying, look, my child, I was speaking to a parent the other day, he said, I had one child that played football, and they got scholarships with Pleasant Grove. He said, he got scholarship offers from this school, this school, this school. He said, but my daughter, she's in school right now, and she's gotten more scholarship offers than the one that played football. And we try to figure out where they're coming from. But, well, we know where they're coming from, because the different universities have our information, and his daughter has met the requirements for their interest level, and she's piqued the interest of these people. So they're going, they're looking at it, and they're sending emails, and they're sending letters. Come sit down and talk with us. We can do a WebEx with your admissions person. And so that's our goal, to make sure that we maximize the opportunity. So our call to action, number 1, and that's why I'm here today, to share this information with you, but also to ask our commissioners and anyone else involved to help us network, to create interest in our students and their skills. You know, when we're talking to businesses and groups, just let them know, hey, look, get in contact with Jefferson County Schools. They got this thing called Naviance that's marrying all this stuff so that we can see the vacancies. Help us match employers with students' future, with students and future employees. And as always, and I want to thank the commissioners, because you guys are already, you always sow it into our schools. You support our schools in many ways. You attend events, and you give money as well, and we appreciate that, all right? And so that extra line item that y'all going to put into y'all budget this year, we ask that y'all do continued financial support to increase.
How are you looking at Angel?
I know you got the money. All right. But y'all, as I close, I just want to just thank y'all for having me again. But I do want to announce that the Jefferson County Schools Career, and this is for our commissioners, and Technology Education Department is sponsoring something called an Industry Connection Day for this year's graduating seniors. And we're going to send y'all an official invitation, but the event will be held at Hueytown High School. The Industry Connection Day is not just a college and career fair event, but it's designed to bridge the gap between the workforce and our graduating seniors. And basically what's going to happen is the workforce is going to come, and they're going to have job opportunities, and our children are going to bring their resumes with all of their credentials, and they're going to be able to apply for jobs on the spot. Because we are serious about educating our children, because we believe that if we continue to provide educational opportunities that are useful to our children and that they're interested in, then our children will succeed, and it's going to help the Jefferson County community as a whole. Thank y'all very much. I appreciate you. Do y'all have any questions?
I have a comment.
Jack?
I raised my voice,
What's unusual about that?
which is a good thing.
All right, we got plans for that.
Raising a hand up got the thing done. didn't it?
That's right.
Not in this arena. Go ahead.
This is the way you do that. If I'm
I get
a
it.
student at Pinson High School or any, how would I know about this?
So,
Where to go to look?
so our counselors work with our students, and we also have career coaches. And there are different events that we sponsor throughout those zones to let those children know what's out there. Again, we do it all rising, ninth graders, those eighth graders. We've already done it in each one of our zones. And then we also, our teachers market it to the students that's at that particular school. And we have videos that we show. They're able to come in and be exposed to it. For example, at Pinson Valley High School, we have our special effects program where these children are designing you need to come see it so that you can see what's going on. They design characters, and our teachers just left from Nashville because we're going to be doing some apprenticeships and externships in Nashville with a special school that allows them to be more proficient in this area.
Thank you. One question and then a statement. As it relates to, like we have Centerpoint and some other schools, what way do you think that we can sow financially to support the program that you just reiterated? No program is successful without money.
Yes, ma'am.
So,
Each program has specialized needs.
Okay.
And then, so for example, at the Centerpoint program, we'll be with the ACE program, and that's where the kids can get the associate's degree along with high school diploma. It costs us about $10,000 a child for a 4-year period. And so we could share that information, so any donations toward that, and the return on investment is huge, because again, these children go straight into the workforce. I have an economic impact study that's being done right now to show that the impact, economic impact of these children participating in these programs, graduating, and then getting jobs, and that impact that it's having on Jefferson County. So we can provide that information of the needs of each of these departments.
okay. So that being said, have you all tried to partner with Jefferson State in terms of the Northeast campus with some of your programming?
Yes, ma'am. We have, and we do have some partnerships, but we need to grow it, So we work with Devils, Boston State, and Jefferson State. Our Jefferson State connection is not as strong as the others, which is, bizarre to me, because Jefferson State is right across the street from Centerpoint High. And so that's why we're going to continue to work on getting through those doors so that people can understand the significance of it. And a lot of this is not in particular with Jefferson County, with Jefferson community, but we have to continue to work with our 2- and 4-year colleges to let them understand that high school students can perform at that level, and that there's a space there for them. We have children every day that's graduating with enough credits from earned in high school, enough college credits to be considered sophomores in college, or second semester freshmen in college. So they can do it, but we are just going to continue to massage those partnerships so that we can make sure the doors are open.
Well, I'm committed to helping in that regard. My last thing is a statement to us as a body. I want to thank you for being extremely accessible. As a superintendent, to me, you are a shining light to what commitment looks like as it relates to the performance of our children. The faculty, there's not been one time that I called you regarding any school, any student, and you haven't been responsive. I think that that's key. A lot of times people don't understand the importance of relationships, and relationships is what build partnerships. Now I want to say to us as a body, it would be a black eye if this school system loses you. And not just because...
You're trying to get rid of
No. I'm giving a precursor.
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
Okay? Because, I hear all the time about black this and everything ain't black. I get it. But I can tell you one thing, that you've been an excellent superintendent, and it's not just because you're the first black. You have set a standard for our school district. And the fact that you're forward thinking and you recognize that you got to marry the two, this is how you stop the school prison pipeline.
Yes, ma'am.
And I want to tell you publicly, it's one thing for us to talk about certain things privately, but I want to say to you, you make my heart very proud. And every time I see you standing in a place of where there's media or we've had some interesting nuances even in our Jefferson County school system, and you've always been on point. You've always made us to look in the best light. And I think this is the proper setting to let you know that.
I appreciate you very much.
You are.
I also want to reciprocate that. It's because of your relationship, all of that, with me as well. It's nothing for me to get a call from Mr. Stevens, right? And say, hey, can you meet me so we can talk about this? Let's go look at Greenwood Elementary. During COVID, these Tysons, I thought I was going to have to claim all my taxes. Constant contact. And each one of them, Jack, Joe, what you do with, all right, what you do with all of our schools, it's something when a commission knows that at Kermit Johnson Elementary, that we need to have security doors and our smart boards, and come to you to say, I'm giving this school this stuff. I mean, they know the details of it, and I just want to let y'all know that we appreciate you too.
All right, so thank you for thinking about students, and all students, not those that just go to college. Some school systems, that's how they base everything, is how many kids we put in college, but to think about every other student. But I'm going to ask for help.
Yes, sir.
Introduce Jim St. John over there, and I would love for you guys to connect, because we've been trying to work on the ambulance issue and our shortage of EMTs, and how can we better do that. And we've talked about how can we get to the high schools and get the students in line. They do that with RC3 in Hoover. We would really like to see that in Jefferson County. And what you have and what you've done is fantastic. Danielle's daughter's in one of those programs, which has made a world of difference to them.
And we do have that EMT program I'd like to show you, because, and we won't want to leave zones, but we, Fultondale High School that we're building now, there's ambulance, simulations, and we work with EMTs. We also had it at McAdory, same way, and we produce these, because we know, we've heard, EMTs, that's major on the list, and so that's what we're trying to produce. And we will give y'all an update on those things, because I think that it's very important that we give you an update on the programs that we have, how it matches the needs, and how many children that we're producing ready for the workforce.
Thank you.
Thank you.
And I will kind of reiterate what he said. I did that for 21 years. Exactly what he's talking about.
What, get out of high school?
Having success stories to get people out of high school that did not have an opportunity to do so. And this is geared around at-risk kids. It's geared around finding a a vocational need to a vocational talent. And it was carried over when I began, it was in an ABC area vocational science. And it did the same thing they're doing now. We would get embedded credits where we would come in and do the math and history and science. And then as we progressed through that, we would get college credits through Jeff State and Lawson State at that time. You get up to 12 hours of credit by going to this. You started with vocational, now it's career tech, now we've got academies. It's all the same thing. It's all about, and it's an evolution of what we do. It's about educating the kids that need it, okay? And it builds their skill set to something that will become a career. And the metrics are still there. This part is still a federal program, right? So the metrics are there. We had to have 80% minimum placement. Placement was in post-secondary education. It was in the military, or it was in full-time gainful employment. If you didn't get that, you were on report, I guess you would say. And then you had a year and 2 years and then 1 year to get it back up. So there are metrics in place. You're just not putting these folks out here. These programs work. And I'm going to be quiet because I can sit here and talk to some other people because I believe in it so much.
Yes, sir.
I got a retirement from doing what he's saying right there.
But opportunity must meet success. You know, because y'all look, several years ago, I've been in this business 31 years. And I remember when, about 15 years in, I got a chance as a professor to visit New Orleans, Florida, and Memphis, and a place in Texas. And we would go into these schools, and they had these opportunities, right? Especially in the high-risk communities. They had these opportunities. But when I walked in the classrooms, nobody was taking advantage of it. No one was in the class. They weren't in the classes. And so I vowed to my group. I said, we will not produce a program to where we have all these opportunities where children can get out of school making $40,000, $50,000 a year, but we don't have anybody in the classroom.
So you don't have any guidance. And I have, when I first got on here, I was telling you about the opportunities that they have took out to school. So we know how to fix it.
Yes.
So the problem is none of it is being implemented. And we were saying that, the city of Birmingham need to handle this, the city of Pleasant Grove need to handle this, but it's not. It's our problem.
Yeah.
We really do have a solution, and that'll affect the violence part that is going on, the people who are being attacked, and the people who are attacking people. And it all is structured around mental illness, and we have no infrastructure, no wraparound services that can help the children that's going into youth detention, that's having the problem. And if you look at it, all it could be, Monique Gear have given them the whole background of how this stuff is still connected to these children.
Well, I can tell you this much. You get a responsible adult sitting down listening to children, finding out what their interests are, and then you provide an opportunity for those interests. They're going to take advantage of it. I had a young man who wanted to be a fireman, and we put him in the fire science program, and his mom, his family came to the interest meeting, and the mama realized that when the child graduated from high school, we were going to send him to the fire college in Tuscaloosa for free for 5 weeks. 5 weeks out of 5 weeks out of high school, these kids were getting a fireman making $50,000. Right? The lady was so impressed. Do you think that she was so impressed when she told us, she said, I'm 50-something years old and I've never made over $50,000 a year. He's 18 and about. Do you think that kid's going to be successful? Because he has the mother's support. You understand? She was so impressed that she tried to get her husband enrolled. And I told her, I said, ma'am, it's for high school students. And she said, well, he didn't graduate from high school, put him in.
I'm gonna cut it out. But what you said is right, it's relationships. We're on speed dial. And we understand what we've got, and the most important people besides these folks right here in the school system are your career tech counselors. They are the first line. And you do that, and the one thing that we did have, I am saying, was in the exploratory shop where they would come and they would determine, have a couple of weeks of each skill set.
That's our middle school.
And then when they do that, that gives them what they need to go do that. But God bless you, we appreciate you. We couldn't work any better with you, I don't think. You're on speed dial to every commissioner. You're accessible, and they say that you're right. Huh? You stay right with you. Okay. God bless you.
And I just want to add, several times over my tenure here, there's been issues or tragedies at the school with a student or a employee or something. He's always on there.
Thank you. Thank you. You need to go. We're going to go down to District 5, District 1, and then we'll go to the rest.
All right. Well, I want to thank Dr. Goslin also for bringing up Innovation Depot because they're up next. So I'm going to call on Brooke Gillis, to the new CEO, not so new anymore. But Brooke is not new to the technology and leadership. But what I'm handing out to you is one of the success stories of somebody that started in Innovation Depot and ended up with a $1.2 billion exit. And they started in a corner of Innovation Depot that I call now, that Theranost along with Flegio is Tony Somerville and Shagan Aquilone. Hey, I'm sure I'm butchering his last name.
That was great.
Yeah, I'm trying. But I call it Shaganville because they both started in the corner. Now, Flegio is in 80 different countries and doing very well. And then, of course, Shagan with his exit at $1.2 billion, but they have over 600 jobs that they brought to Jefferson County. And so the value, and what Dr. Goslin has spoken to, and the value of having the Southeast's largest incubator here in Jefferson County is very important. So Brooke has a brief presentation, and we'll be open for questions.
Thank you, and yes, thanks for the shout out. Many of your schools have actually, Amanda on my team every year, our program manager, has given tours of the Innovation Depot, so what a great segue here. Speaking of, you call it Shagan Hall, we call it the Magic Hall, and I will say, I started on that Magic Hall over a decade ago. Wasn't planning to say all this, but Shagan was in one office, Tony Summerall videos in the other, and then myself and Nate was the other office. There were 3 offices, and every day we started with an IKEA table and some laptop computers, and now you're talking to, or on this piece of paper, is a billionaire, someone else that employs over 300 people in Birmingham, and then Nate and I, which started the TechStars Accelerator in Birmingham and the Velocity Accelerator, which we'll talk a little bit about today. So really cool things do happen, and they start with an IKEA desk and a computer. So I am Brooke Gillis. I'm the CEO of Innovation Depot. I am pretty new, started in December, but I've spent over a decade of my life at the Innovation Depot. So I'm so excited to tell all of you more about it. I'm excited that Jefferson County can possibly play more of a big role here in the coming decades as we see the growth. As you see here on the screen, we are the front door to all entrepreneurs. The companies that you see in the center of this circle are actually companies that are housed in the Innovation Depot. And the companies around the perimeter are those that we have relationships with. And so as I said, we want to be the front door to every single entrepreneur, whether they're a small business, whether they're a tech company, whether they're going through an accelerator, we want them to start at the Innovation Depot. We also care a lot about programming. Our main two programs right now that we're concentrating on in this quarter are Vision ID and Voltage. These are idea stage accelerators or programs. And what that means is these are people that have 8 to 5 jobs. They're not necessarily able to quit those 8 to 5 jobs, but they want to be an entrepreneur. And so they come in on the weekends and they get training for about 6 weeks, and they find out and vet that product to see if it's time for them to quit their 8 to 5 job and move on and start their own company. And so these two programs are great. We've grown these companies, these two programs pretty fast, and we really want to triple these programs so that we can fill more people into our top of the funnel to bring more entrepreneurs into the Innovation Depot. Just to give you an example of what it looks like, Jocelyn went through our Vision ID program, our online program. Then she went through our 6-week Voltage program, and she has quit her job and now is working full-time at the Innovation Depot in our Ignite co-working space. And so you can see that we follow these entrepreneurs at every stage of their journey. 83% of our Voltage grads reside in Jefferson County, so we know we're reaching the right people. Keep going. In 2020, we helped just 9 individuals. And just a year later, we helped over 350 program participants with all of our new programming, and we want to grow that even more in 2023. Velocity Accelerator was the very first accelerator here in Birmingham 5 years ago. I helped start that along with Nate Schmidt, and we have helped 39 startups and produced 133 jobs. Since Velocity has been here, we now have 4 new accelerators that are national accelerators, one of them being Techstars, one of them being Prosper, Bronze Valley, who am I forgetting? Generator. So 4 different accelerators, and our goal now is to pivot slightly, and instead of running our accelerator, we want to get all the accelerators doing things in our building. So we're excited to announce just a few weeks ago in the newspaper that Techstars is moving from the Denton building over to the Innovation Depot. And the reason for that is we feel like we have missed one mark. We need to continue to nurture these entrepreneurs once they leave these accelerators. I love it. Commissioner Tyson, we met a few weeks ago, you said one of your friends was in your kitchen working and she moved to Atlanta. And how do we retain that talent? And I think we retain that talent by making them feel at home at the Innovation Depot, by giving them access to VC, to marketing help, to access to anything as small as like their taxes, and just helping them throughout their journey. And so we want to keep people like your friend that went to Atlanta in Birmingham, and we want them to stay here, we want them to hire here, and we want them to thrive here in Birmingham. Let's move on and go to what we are as an incubator. So we are a true incubator, and in order to continue to be a true incubator, we need to put processes in place to maintain all of the data that people need in order to grow their company. So we have over 100 companies in our building, and we are looking in the next quarter to put a lot of processes in place in order to find out how much VC money they need, how many people they're employing, how many people they want to hire. How do we help them move the needle so that they can become the next Shagan or the next Fleetio that you see in the paper in front of you? And so in order to do that, we've got to do all of the steps. We've got to have the vision people, we've got to put the Voltage accelerator in place, the idea stage, move them through all of our accelerators. And then what is very, very exciting to announce is that now we have a new partner with the Next Tech building. For over 3 years, our building has been at 100% capacity. What that means is that no entrepreneur entering Birmingham has a place to land at the Innovation Depot. But now that we have Next Tech just one street over, we're able to graduate our teams out as they grow and have the next place for them to land, allowing us to make room for more and more entrepreneurs. And so I'll pause there and just tell you that we're excited to celebrate these teams as they come in and celebrate them as they leave. And I'm happy to answer any additional questions.
Anybody have any questions?
How long does a entrepreneur or whomever generally stay at Innovation Depot?
That's a great question. The goal is to get them in and help them grow and get them out within 3 to 5 years. The goal is not to have them stand still there. We want to help them grow. The only way to do that is to give them resources and programming to help them do that. So 3 to 5 years is the goal, and it really depends on what stage they come in. and kind of what type of company they are. A biotech company might be there a little bit longer because of the way it takes to actually produce biotech.
And so the next tech is an area they'll go if they don't go somewhere after 3 to 5 years, then you move them over to the next tech.
Exactly. So Main Street, for example, was in our building, I think, for about 8 years, and now we've graduated them over to the Next Tech building. They're larger, they have more employees. The Next Tech has more larger spaces. So we have smaller spaces to help 1 to 2 entrepreneurs in a 210 square foot room, and then grow up to maybe 7 to 10 employees. But once you get a little bit larger than that, we will move them over to the Next Tech building. And then we hope that then they buy their own building, like Lydia has done, in the heart of downtown, or like Shift has done. And so we want to produce more and more of those studios and those Shift and those there Nest.
I think an important part about that is that Shagan, who is in this article, is back in the depot, and he's back, supporting it with Harmony Venture Labs. And not only is he supporting and growth of his company, but he's also there supporting other Innovation Depot entrepreneurs. So the expansion, and he's putting money into it as well. Bill Smith is also investing in a lot of these companies, as well as Tony Somerville. So they're buying back into helping and supporting the depot and the ecosystem, hoping that it will continue to grow.
The alumni pool is very, very important, and that's why we're so excited to celebrate the last, 17 years of the Innovation Depot, and hope that the next 17 years can be even better by the help of all these entrepreneurs that have had awesome exits. We were just talking about the article that he wrote in front of you about Shagan. He's the most humble gentleman you'll ever meet. He walks through the halls and offers help when he's, a busy billionaire. But he doesn't seem like a busy billionaire. He seems like the most humble guy, just wanting to help other entrepreneurs succeed. So
I didn't mention that Barnett did write that article.
you didn't give him a shout out.
I didn't. He doesn't need to. I don't want to. For us to be, for the county to be all in, you see that you heard from Dr. Gollison about the support with vision. For us to be in on tech and support, they are asking for a 4-year support, and also to support their buy-in to Next Tech and being able to use those spaces for programming and a number of things.
I do have one question. At what level is Birmingham supporting this project?
Birmingham, when you say Birmingham,
City of Birmingham,
City of Birmingham. Yeah.
they're just like this county commission, the
Yeah.
city of Birmingham.
We're actually meeting with them next week.
So you don't know,
I don't know yet.
how much do they, are they predicting last year and year before?
So they contributed to our Velocity program at the beginning. I don't know the exact amount. I'm going to be on that.
That would be very helpful.
Yeah, we can find that out. But we're meeting with their group next week, actually.
They did support Next Tech at $2 million.
That's right. That's right.
What, the building? So they help with the building, but they're not giving you any ongoing support?
Not currently,
Oh,
but they did. Like I said, they did do next time just a few
yeah.
weeks ago.
I didn't want to put you on the spot.
No, you're good.
But it's something that we need to know
No,
as a commission is we look for our partners
Sure.
to advance the community and their economic development.
Yeah, they're on our board, and we meet with them.
They're on the board,
I'll ask Sri. Sri is on the board at Innovation Depot. If you'd like to say anything.
Yes, absolutely. Good morning, Commissioners. I'm really thrilled to say that I'm associated with Innovation Depot. And since Brooke being as a CEO in the last few months, she's done phenomenal, the different things that was not being done before. And you look at the resurgence, what it's been, Innovation Depot has been doing for the last several years. Like some of the companies that Commissioner Ames mentioned, these are the companies that really setting up the next level, because we call it as a tech vibe that is happening not only just in Birmingham City, but the entire Jefferson County. Because recently, just I connected group with a tech entrepreneur who's willing to come down to Birmingham from San Francisco in terms of implementing an AI machine learning product. So it's not just one company, but there are several companies who are really looking at Birmingham and Innovation Depot, the kind of platform it created in terms of budding entrepreneurs looking at these success stories. So if you're looking at next 3, 5, 7, 10 years, it's going to be a phenomenal game changer in this ecosystem because it's building not just innovation hub. We're talking about next tech building where the graduates will go on to the next level. And then we have additional companies coming down and working with Birmingham Brown, where they try to attract companies coming to Birmingham and Jefferson County. So it's setting up an ecosystem platform is a great thing, and I'm really glad I'm being associated with Innovation Hub.
Any other questions?
This is item number 1.
Yes, ma'am.
All right. So I want to be clear on what we're doing. We're saying that this agreement is going to be between Next Tech and Innovation Depot. Next Tech, isn't that what we just supported last meeting? The one that's where the old sticks and stuff?
No, that was, we may have talked about it, but we haven't done any support. That's what's wrapped up into this.
Okay, so it sounds as though what you're going to do, and good morning. Sounds like what you're going to do is to take those successes from Innovation Depot and I guess marry them through this Next Tech program, kind of like here's an incentive.
Extension, yeah.
Is an extension or an incentive?
It's an extension of, to allow us more space so that we can open up new spaces for new entrepreneurs. So we don't stay at 100% capacity. We graduate them after they excel and they become bigger, and they have bigger spaces at Next Tech. So our spaces are more segmented into smaller spaces that attract smaller entrepreneurs, smaller companies.
And there's also a lot of meeting space over there where they can do pitch competitions.
Where's Next Tech located?
It's right behind the depot, the old Sticks and Stuff building.
Yeah, that's what I just
Right,
said.
yeah, that's it.
Okay, that's why I'm being clear.
Yeah.
Okay, so what you're trying to do is to relieve some of the stress of your current location and utilizing the partnership that you have with Next Tech in order to be able to facilitate those that you're kind of pushing in an upward mobility
And because
type
there
of
is one street
direction.
away, we're able to still do our programming and everything together still and continue to incubate them instead of just sitting them onto like a building, that standalone building. We're able to have them all in one building so we can cross programs to both of the buildings just one street away.
I have an interest in that area. I'd be interested in knowing, Ammon, where we're going with that as it relates to Next Tech, and is there any other business development down in that little corridor?
So the whole switch district is important to.
Because you're right across the street from Ethers Brothers and some other businesses in that area. And I would like to see where we're going with that. I grew up with a business down there on 4th Avenue and 16th Street. And because of that, I have a real vested interest in seeing that little piece of corridor where we're not pushing out existing businesses, but we're also including them in the marriage.
Well, hopefully, having all those businesses there will help go to Ethridge Brothers and utilize those services that are there.
But we'll talk about it.
And it's worth going and taking a tour of where Innovation Depot is now and Next Tech.
No, when I was chair, I'm familiar with Innovation.
Well,
Depot.
at least go over to Next Tech and see that facility. It's coming along nicely.
We're bringing more people. There's going to have a restaurant, retail stores right there, just kind of more energy.
I've seen the outside. The outside looks very impressive. I just need to go inside, but I'm more interested in that entire corridor that leads from that end of, I think that's for, so this 3rd Avenue North, going up toward Lyric Theater. And I just, because I'm telling you, there's been some expressed concerns about being able to compete to stay in the area.
Gotcha.
You get it?
Right.
I don't want to say too much more on that.
I understand.
All right. Yes, ma'am.
Any other questions?
Yeah, hang on. I just want to look at the backup on this.
Okay.
Is there a task in the backup?
It is. Or I can give it to you. So it's $400,000 over 4 years, and then it would be $2 million over 2 years, $1 million each year to support their buy-in to Next Tech, and then of course the $400,000 to support them expanding programming. with what she just showed.
So is this a part of recruitment or retention? Which one would you say that this is?
This would be more of an expansion.
I think both.
Yeah, I think when you expand, you retain
Right,
more
sure.
so than you recruit.
Right,
You retain, so
So
it's
we're
retention.
recruiting to fill our programs with more entrepreneurs, but we're retaining by keeping them in the building.
So here's my point. What's the funding source for this item?
Economic development.
So it's economic development, and we are using it to retain.
Retain. And also to retain the people that come out of the accelerators. You know, being an entrepreneur is a very lonely place. We need to surround them by continuous, energy at the Innovation Depot so that they do stay here in Birmingham and they don't go to Atlanta or Nashville.
No, I get it. I just-
There's other support as well.
Yeah, absolutely.
But this is not the same $400,000 support that we did for Next Tech.
We haven't done.
Oh, well, excuse me, what was it, Tequila?
Oh, Project Tequila, no, they're,
That was actual
yeah,
jobs.
that was just a job incentive to, and Project Tequila, or Tequila Automation, is located in Next Tech.
Now, I knew it was something related to that.
Right.
Okay, so I think, Mr. President, know where I'm going with retention versus all of that, but I won't say
You
it.
did well from last week.
No, not from last week, I'm talking about a couple of weeks ago.
I'll be right back.
Yeah, I just wanted to make sure that this economic development fund is used for retention and recruitment. But that's the only way that you can be able to utilize anything that you recruit. You gotta have the mechanism in order to retain it. You understand? So, I think even Barnett get it, he over there talking too, so, everybody understand what I meant by retention. But, okay, I get it. And so, how long is this agreement?
For 4 years.
It's for 4 years, so what do they get, $100,000 per year?
No, 400,000 per year.
Oh, it's $400,000 per year. For how many years?
4 years.
Okay, so altogether, we're talking about $1.6 million?
On that side.
And then
Plus
and
the two.
2 million to get into Next Tech.
Oh, wow. And y'all crucified me a couple of weeks ago, but I get it. Yes, ma'am. Thank you. It's been very enlightening. Thank you.
Any other questions?
Thank you for your time, I really appreciate it.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Could I have a motion to send to the agenda, please?
Is that your way of looking at me? Said to move?
To anybody. Move the item, do I have a second?
He's talking about this.
Innovation Depot support on item 1.
I would like, I will move it conditionally, Joe, or second it, depending on City of Birmingham participation.
You won't find that out before Thursday.
No, so we may have to put this on. What I want to do, I want to contribute, but I don't want to contribute in a disproportional amount to the City of Birmingham, where this resides and where they receive the majority of the benefit. And I hope they're online listening right now, because I want to pull them up to the level that we are, and perhaps surpass us if they indeed would. Okay?
All right, I have a motion and a second. All in favor, please say aye.
All right?
Opposed? Thank you. All right, next item is Project 1812. Is Jeff Craven calculator?
I'd like on this to get a little bit more of a deep dive into what that 400,000 is used for. Your people.
We'll have Brooke get with you directly. Just
Do a deep dive on what that money is used for.
Sure.
All right, this morning on Project 1812, which is, the company is called Feed, which is currently in the city of Birmingham, out on the edge of Irondale. And they are looking to expand, but they needed to move locations. And this did involve the Good Neighbor Pledge that the Mayor's Association signed on to, and so we took that and made sure that the city was well aware of what was going on and make sure that incentives were qualified. So I'll introduce Jeff Trawick, is business retention and expansion with the Birmingham Business Alliance.
Good day, everyone. Today we're bringing to you a potential expansion project. As Commissioner Evans said, this is a company called Thieves, which is located here locally. Technically, it's North American Construction Services, but Thieves is the parent company. Thieves is a company that has a long history going back to 1812. It was a French-based foreign direct investment for our area. And for the past few years, they've been looking at where to allocate some additional investment in the States, and they've considered looking at a potential expansion for their Birmingham operation, but have also looked at potentially investing that capital into an operation they have in Ohio as well. With me today is Matt Owens, the general manager of the local operation, and Janetta Ayers, finance director. They have been really lobbying for Birmingham over the past several years, and we've gotten to a point now where the company is looking to do their investment here in our area. So what we're looking at is a move within the county from their current operation, which is, if you see it, you would understand that they're currently very landlocked and do not have a lot of room for expansion within their current footprint. So they're looking at a facility that is over in the unincorporated part of Jefferson County in the Pinson Valley area. As Commissioner Amron said, this does involve the Good Neighbor Pledge because they would be moving from Birmingham and Commissioner Amron's district to unincorporated Jefferson County within Commissioner Scales' district. This would be a new 15-job project. City of Birmingham, Commissioner Evans had a conversation with them there. They gave it their thumbs up. So this would be a new 15-job expansion for them. Significant wages running between $40,000 and $50,000 per year, and would involve a capital investment of a little over $4.8 million for the county. Overall, this would bring their head count to, I believe it's 125 people locally. So it does provide a good significant expansion over their existing operation. So at this point, I'll turn it over to the representatives from the company to talk a little bit about what it is that they plan to do and who would like to do it. All right, so first would be Janetta, the finance director.
Thank you for letting us come and speak to you today. First and foremost, I'm an Alabama girl, and I don't want to move to Cleveland. I was born in Inslee, in Birmingham, Southern. Been here all my life, so I'm very pro Birmingham and want to stay in this area. Thieves has decided to make a significant investment in our company, and in doing that, we really want to move. Looking to move, we needed to move to a crane facility. There aren't that many. We've looked at several, and this one just was a great facility for us. But it needs a lot of work. We want to grow. We want to be able to make that step from a $30 million to a $40 million company. And in doing that, we want to better serve our area. We work with Nucor, Pacifico, U.S. Pipe, thermal process jobs, heavy industrial, and that's a market that is growing. It's a market that the Associated Builders recognizes that they need to also support and offer craft training to high school students so that they can come out and get these good jobs. Our welders start out between $22 and $25 an hour and can go up to $38 an hour if they are qualified to do stainless steel welding. And that is just their base pay. A lot of times they have a lot of overtime, which is, their choice and they love and they really want to. As a French company also, Thief offers amazing benefits for our employees. And that's something that we all need. That's something that we all want. We all want to be able to tell our kids not only can you get a good job as a laborer, but you can have great benefits, as that person. My dad worked for U.S. Steel. I know that those jobs kind of went away for a while, and we want to grow and bring those back. It's not anything for us to do many jobs. We build these huge furnaces, and we actually just need a place to do it. The work is there. We can expand quite rapidly if we have the opportunity. And we appreciate you considering us for that opportunity. Thank you.
What kind of construction do you all do? I heard you say something about furnaces.
We do the large industrial furnaces for, what we did for Burnco, we do for Nucor. They smelt metals in them to build engine blocks, that kind of thing. Gerdau they're not local here, but they're in Tennessee and Florida. So that's what we do, large industrial furnaces. And we have a workshop on site. So we have about 30 people at our workshop, and then we have another group that travels the U.S. And goes to other locations.
So you're doing you're building stuff out here in Jefferson County.
Yes.
And then you're sending it to the site, and then those folks are going and installing it, welding it, putting it all together.
Right.
Or doing repairs.
Right, exactly. So we do construction, maintenance, we have engineers that work for us. So we have a lot of different trades.
And what's the address of your current and future?
The address of the current is 5000 Commerce Avenue, and it's Birmingham.
Which is behind Motion Industries.
And it's landlocked. There's a residential area, and then there's a small, it's off Alton. And there's just, getting in there, the road is very small. It just does not lend itself to expansion at all.
Who paved it? It was worse. Are you all right
Appreciate the
there
pavement.
by the FedEx facility?
No, it's on down. If you go past Motion,
On the left or right?
on the left,
Okay.
go
Almost at
across
the very end.
go across the bridge and take a left, and it parallels the railroad tracks.
Oh, we fixed that bridge up there.
No, that's, yeah, I like that. Infrastructure money.
I have a motion to move it to the agenda. Do I have a second?
Second.
All right, all in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
All right, thank you very much.
All right, but is there an ask?
It was abatements of the 10-year abatement on just property taxes
Well, I didn't
and
have
sales
to say
and
that.
use. All right. Next, I'll call on Sri on PC Solutions and integration.
I move.
And I got a motion, do I have a second? All in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
And then I have an appointment to the Jefferson County Planning and Zoning. Thank you.
Move the item.
Second, motion second, all in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Thank you very much. That concludes my,
So, Public Works, Community Services, and Intergovernmental Relations, we only have one item, and then there's another item that I will be adding to on page 10 while I am present. I saw where Commissioner Tyson also, I guess, going to have an item that I had agreed to as relates to Sports Council. So, item number 1, this is dealing with Rev Construction on Terry Huffman Road in Center Point and 5th Street Northwest. It's a sewer protection piece. Do we have any questions as relates to that item? All right, it's been moved and properly seconded. All those in favor, let it be known by saying aye. Ms. Heather, while I'm on this, if you don't mind, just a sidebar statement, but 10 Mill Road, I know that Commissioner Stevens and I share that area. But I had something to come up about 10 Mill Road where there's a bridge. It's connected actually to Birmingham, but we got that portion that is in question is a county road. And to see, if you don't mind, to look into that. And then that other project that we discussed while we were at the fire department. Yes, ma'am, if you don't mind. And then item number 2, item 2, but it's on page 10. I wanted us to just call up that item since I'm about to leave. It is for $3,200 for mannequins. Center Point Fire Department made that request. I know that District 4 is willing to do $500,000, and Commissioner and I agreed about $3,200 if we could add to that. Mr. President, would you? Okay.
You speak, we'll add that on. Yeah, well, you said 10,000.
Well, I did until Murph corrected me, because there's another component that is separate from this, so don't do that. $3,200.
Just do a grant.
Okay, well, which one do you want to do?
Never mind.
Okay, I know,
I want
thank
to get out of here.
you. Because, sometimes people misread our comments, so $3,200 based on what you're doing on that part. The other one is having to deal with personnel. That's why I said that now in the beginning. So I apologize. $3,200, and that's item number 2, that's actually under District 4. So, okay, if you don't mind, I appreciate that. Also, I know that Commissioner Tyson had this item as relates to Sports Council, that I agreed to that one too. I wanted to make sure that it's for the record that I am in support of that item as well before I leave. Matter of fact, let's do this. She's getting ready to get her report up, and I'm sure that, let me just stay here for District 2 and make sure that that is done.
Make sure it's done. District 2.
Yeah.
Good morning, Commissioner.
Good morning.
We have Dr. Hamilton.
I move District 2's agenda.
Okay. And first and second, do I have a second?
Second.
Well, you need to add something too, one of the items.
I'm
No.
gonna bring them up, second.
I think, is that an item of new business? The one that you have for Sports Council?
Yeah, they new business.
New business, okay.
Okay, item 1 and 2 and 3. It's been first and second, all in favor, say aye.
All right.
Thank you. I have,
Oh, I thought that was all of them.
even my,
Yeah.
even for my community, grants, okay.
No, you can't do that now for items of new business. You gotta call up items.
What's listed?
Okay, the ones that, that's
Sure, a
for,
bunch of them.
okay, the ones that was listed, those passed too. So I have items of new business.
Only question that I had, I saw where it was 12 schools, and it doesn't show 12 schools, so is it gonna take care?
Yeah, 5 and plus these.
Okay, so is that item on new business?
Yeah,
The
these
others
are
that you
items of
had?
new business with these.
The 12 schools was commissioner combined, elementary schools, and all, it's 12 schools included in one grant. And then she has individual grants for some of the schools.
And that's the ones I have in my hand.
Yes.
Go back.
Okay.
And then I have,
Individual grant that includes 12 schools.
Yeah.
That's what we got in there.
How many items of new business do you have?
I have 5 altogether. I've had 5 items of new business. 6 altogether.
6 items of new business, and they are
Six.
all time sensitive, right?
They all are time sensitive. In order for me to get it done by the end of the month.
So now you're going to ask for unanimous consideration for 6 items.
But 6 items,
6 items of new business from District 2.
absolutely, I need,
So I move for unanimous. Okay, so we've done that, we second.
all in favor, say aye.
Now we're very good.
Okay, now I need to approve these 6 items.
Well, they are.
Okay, y'all got them?
No, I don't. As a matter of fact, that's why I asked to borrow.
So you wanted to add
Oh,
another
no.
item in the sports council?
No, the Sports Council one is, it's already listed on there. I just
all
didn't,
I was trying to help you out, Jeff.
of them. I have them all.
All right, you've got $50,000 to Birmingham Board for Hemphill Elementary.
Hemphill Elementary.
You have
no, I don't have the rest of it.
$25,000 for Princeton.
You got your paperwork right there.
That's great.
Where your stuff at, Jim?
We have Sports Council,
That's good.
$34,000. I have $50,000 for Hemphill Elementary School. $25,000 for Princeton Elementary School. Booker T. Washington, $25,000. Oxmoor Valley, $75,000. I have a multi-school grant for $21,500
And that's Parker, Ramsey, Winona, Jackson, and Green Acres.
in Green Acres.
all these are schools
in my
I'm moving.
Second.
Been first and second, all in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Question.
Okay.
But that's okay. I just want to make sure the source of the funding is available.
What is that?
That 1631571?
What is it? Isn't that from your district?
Yeah, yeah, I'm just, okay, we're good. We're good with that.
I guess what I needed to ask on top of that, Angela, how about giving us our ballots and all of our,
I got all mine. No.
Well, I understand, it was my understanding that money wasn't available until the 30th of April, but that's what, so that's why I'm asking.
What money is that?
That, from the whole article.
Yeah, but I thought,
We'll figure it out. We're good, okay.
yeah, you gonna figure it
all right, anything? That's it?
That's it.
So we had,
Yeah, we all vote.
got a motion, second.
Motion, second.
Motion and second, all in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Thank you, that's the end of my.
So here we go.
If you get to that item, I have to stay here for that one too, but I know I have to go.
You're gonna do yours or go on the mine?
Can you put out there and then I'm going to, I'll put it in here.
I have finance,
I'll move the finance agenda.
Second.
a motion and a second, all in favor,
You
please
should
say
have
aye.
more you should have more.
Yeah,
You took up all the time.
Budget.
If you have more which moves along.
Do I have a second?
Second.
All in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Board of registrars, Mary, are you on?
Move the item.
Have a motion?
A second.
All in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Developmental services, Mr. Morris.
Yes, sir. First item is a resolution that clears up our ability to reappoint members to the Planning and Zoning Commission. Historically, we found some evidence in the Planning and Zoning Commission minutes. There was a resolution passed by the County Commission at some point in the 70s that limited the number of terms to 2 terms. We tried to find that in the minutes, the official minutes of the County Commission, but we couldn't find it. But this should clear that up so that we can pave the way to reappoint members again to more than 2 terms if necessary. We've been having some quorum problems on the board, so that's why this is important.
Do I have a motion on item 1?
Move it.
Have a motion? Do I have a second? All in favor, please say aye. All right, B 23-0002.
Case number 2 and case number 3 are actually at the same site. This is one of those, it's a gas station / package store. The package store was established in 2014 following a public hearing. This is just to transfer the license to a new applicant.
Do I have a motion?
I'm sorry, I wasn't paying attention,
Yes, sir.
and I apologize.
All in favor?
But I
please
just,
say
I just didn't go, who's district? Mine, 4, never mind it. Normally, when it's not district, I'd say,
aye. Have a motion, do I have a second? All in favor, please say aye. Thank you. General services.
Everybody won.
Commissioners, General Services has 2 contract items on the agenda. The first is for the municipal election services for Vestavia Hills. It's a revenue generating agreement. And the second item is for Goodman Holdings. It is the project manager agreement for the coroner's project.
Do we have a location yet?
No, sir. As a matter of fact, I just got some addresses from the Birmingham Airport Authority. I'm going to look at the land this week there, but I have not heard any additional information or any properties from UAB yet.
Okay. Thank you. Do I have a motion on 1 and 2?
No, the items.
I have a motion and a second. All in favor? Say aye.
Aye.
All right, I have
Thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Fish. I have a grant to the city of Trustful for some installation of some public restrooms in the park. Do I have a motion?
Well, item.
Do I have a motion?
Second.
All in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
I am.
Let me ask you something.
Yes.
You partnered with the city to be able to do that,
Yes.
is that why the cost is so low?
No, that's just,
Hell no,
Yeah,
I'm looking for some restaurant, they're like $5,000.
that's put in the plumbing.
That's all.
Plumbing.
Yeah, so you only just doing the.
Yeah, we're just doing it.
You're just doing the infrastructure.
That's what they asked,
Okay.
so that's what
Sure.
we did. No, I can't build one for $5,000, I can get you a porta potty.
I get you. But yeah,
I have a Center Point Fire District where I have given a $500,000 grant for the building of a new fire station in the district for $500,000.
and I want, is best item that we need to add to 3,200 for us, all right?
What do you want to do?
Okay, so thank you, you're so kind. $3,200 I'd like to add for the purpose of purchasing mannequins, item number 2, if it's permissible for the body.
Do I have a motion? So
Move second.
All in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
And Jefferson County Planning and Zoning, reappointment for Ms. Trudy Strain, an appointment for Trudy Strain. Have a motion. All in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
In my report.
All right, good morning. Got administrative and infrastructure committee that really doesn't look like it's got a whole lot. Let's look and see. Got Soil and Water Conservation Foundation, litter quitters. Boy, I tell you, an anti-litter media campaign for erosion transportation parkland to establish a memorandum of understanding with the Jefferson County Soil and Water Conservation Foundation in the amount of $500,000.
I move.
Second.
Have a motion and a second, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
We have street maintenance acceptance from the Green Haven subdivision. Yes, sir? Okay.
I was just here to assist.
How much is it gonna cost?
Oh, no.
Now that you stood up.
Not
Yeah,
sure.
we were gonna run through this thing.
You're right, you keep going. Just here for questions.
Right. Street maintenance acceptance of the Greenway subdivision. We have Caldwell Mill Road widening and bridge replacement. Got permission to condemn several tracks. Old Tuscaloosa Highway and Low County Road project, that's is considered on the Dan Smucker's deal. Got Bell Hill Road for the hospital, a couple projects, which is 5 and 6. You got Old Tuscaloosa Highway and Low County again, which is going to the Smucker's project. Another Bell Hill, 2 more Bell Hills that has to do with the widening of the road down there and the changing of the road from heavy residential to, I guess that's the future. But where it will take that amount of traffic. And then you've got a War Eagle Drive project, which is permission to condemn tracks 1, 2, 3, and 6.
I vote no on that one.
I wanted you to read all those just so I could hear you say War Eagle. I have 1 through 10 because you made my head.
We have a motion and a second, War Eagle, 1 through 10. All in favor, say aye.
Move the county minutes.
County minutes, I think maybe I'll read those.
Yeah.
You want me to?
I vote no. No. Did you vote no? Okay.
So I've got one item of new business also on, it's,
All right, well, yeah, you have an item of new business.
yes,
Move
That's
to
a
settlement.
settlement.
This item for a
And
settlement.
you've got 2 items of new business, so, anyone else?
I move 3 items of new business.
We have 3 items of new business for consideration, for unanimous consent and consideration. The 2, or the one coming from the county attorney is,
it's a settlement work.
2 coming from the
Employment contracts.
employment contract. So those are 3 items of new business, unanimous consent. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed?
I move all 3 items.
We have a motion and a second to move all 3 items. All in favor say aye. All right, we have county manager offer. Sir? I have a nonprofit beneficiary program agreement, batch 1. I can really kind of need to know what that is.
Right, that's the
program y'all set up in Auburn for basic nonprofits to apply. We set up the program and set all the credentials and had many people apply for small size grants of like 30,000, 7,000, 5,000, that kind of thing. Let me get my information.
See, how many do you have and how much money was utilized? Is that it?
Yeah.
What are we talking about now?
The nonprofit offer program.
The list was in the bag.
How about the whole?
That's the item.
But the program eligibility criteria included they had to be in Jefferson County. They had to have a nonprofit status checked and vetted. They had to demonstrate revenue loss. And then Widow O'Brien completed a debarment and suspension check as well. They also verified their presence of operation. Of course, had to be continuously operating in Jefferson County. And the organizations had to provide public services in the following areas: housing, homelessness, senior services, economic development, historical preservation, zoo, libraries, child care. And we had, I don't know how many total we passed here.
1.5.
Well, how did people know about this?
We publicized it on our social media channels, and we also sent mail to organizations that we have participated with the county.
Commissioner, we also appeared on WVRC to speak about it as well.
And also, y'all approved it, when we set it up, y'all approved it. But we do have some money left, and we want to rerun it again, and some people missed out, they can have.
Yeah, please let us know when you're gonna do that, because we can then put it on our social media for our district, because I see very little in here in my district. Thank you. Make it.
All right, Justin, if you will, check with each commissioner, make sure we get that advertised.
Yes, sir.
I'll move the item.
Got a motion second, all in favor say aye. I have one item of new business that's coming from Brown, which is a resolution to reappoint Gay Neal White, who is the Secretary Treasurer of the Indian Fork Fire District. She needs to be, her term is expired, she needs to sign some checks, so it is moving forward to consideration.
Second.
Have a motion and second for unanimous consideration. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Move item.
Second.
Item been moved and seconded. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
And I apologize for that.
I'll move your community grants 1 and 3.
I will. Second. Yeah.
Commissioners, I think we talked about our new business. I don't know if you moved minutes.
We did move
Yes,
it.
we did.
Yeah.
I made the motion, I don't know if we approved it.
We did.
I want to add 10,000 to the United Building.
Okay, so the
It was
United
in the
Building.
backup that way. It was in the backup that way, the number just needs to be changed to 20.
So I gave 10, Joe's giving 10.
That's correct, right? And it was in the backup appropriately, so it's just a pending name change.
Just a 10 and ink change here, okay, so we're good to go. All right, anything from you?
I just, excuse me, want to take the opportunity to introduce Melody Banks, the new Chief HR Director. She's been with us about 4 weeks. I tried to bring her to your offices, but she's doing a great job. She's drinking from a fire hose. We're extremely glad to have her, and also wanted to introduce the new Deputy Director of Roads and Trans, Tyler Hayes. He's doing a fantastic job. He's been here for about a year.
Come over this way, over here. There you go.
A very helpful young man, very good.
You like that?
And what's his title now?
Deputy Director of Roads and Trans. And then Chris Nicholson.
Yeah, we just approved him.
Just approved. Glad to have him. Both of those.
Try doing it for Gene, I guess.
Yeah, the Greg's over there hiding behind Lecter.
Terrific employees and great servants of the public. Thank you.
Okay. Anything that we have on the
The other thing I just wanted to give a shout out to Dale Ball, Mike Morrison, Sheila Collins, Rosalind Butts, and Mandy Ellis in our successful injunction. We've been moving forward with enforcing our zoning stuff. And we went before the judge and got a successful injunction against the property that was in violation of your zoning ordinances. So we just received that order. So we're
I'd like to hear just something brief from Michael Morrison with concerning his, just a chorus would be fine. Mike, I know
I don't do this whole JoJo dancer thing.
His back's been out from supporting.
No pictures, no autographs.
If anyone read the Birmingham Times, you got to see a good article in that. I did. I'll give you a shout out too, Barnett.
He earned it. We went viral for it.
Yeah, I thought, I understand that. Well, he looked viral. Anyway, congratulations.
Thank you very much.
You and Patty gonna be a thing now, right?
He goes by Mr. Lavelle.
No, I heard a sweet thing.
I don't know.
They like you. She liked you.
I'm looking for executive session.
We have one from our county attorney, his opinion in executive session is warranted. The grant, the state code 3625A783, for the commission to discuss with the attorneys the legal ramification of any litigation involving Jefferson County and controversy immediately likely to be litigated. All right, we have a motion to convene, call for a vote. I guess we need to do, we just do a roll call vote. All in favor say aye. Aye. Any opposed? All right, that's unanimous. Commission, we're going to dismiss, we will dismiss after this with no action to be taken, and with approximately 45 minutes.
approximately.
And we're going to go into executive session at 20 minutes till.
How about we go at 10:45?
10:45 will be out at 11:30. Okay?
That's good.
So this meeting is now adjourned.
Did you tell the auditors this stuff?
Yeah.